Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa and I am the creator behind Missouri Makes. Today we are going to be doing a tutorial. This is crochet. I do knitted and crochet tutorials depending on whatever, but this is crochet. This is a little cowl and everything you need to know about this will be in this video. The only stitches you need to know is double crochet, front post and back post double crochet, and then we have chains and single crochets. I believe that's it. We work this cowl from the bottom up and we join in the round at the beginning, so it is all seamless. You don't have to do any seaming, and this is the part where we slip stitch, and so you can tell that there is not a seam. It's all good. Let's see. It measures, I haven't blocked it or anything, but it measures 12, so it would be around 24 inches around, and it is about 7.5 inches wide. In height. The crochet hook that I used is a 5mm, and the yarn that is used for this pattern is my own hand-dyed yarn. This one doesn't have a name at the moment, but maybe it will by the time this video comes out. If you do not have this yarn, if you don't have any of my yarn at all, what you will need for this is a sport weight yarn. This is a 100% non-superwash Peruvian Highland wool, so it is going to be super warm for the cold days to come. Well, we're already at the cold days, but that is what you're going to need. This is what I have left of my skein. So I'm going to say you need around 200 yards for a cowl like this. Now you are able to take and change the size of this. If you want it to be longer, you need to go in multiples of 10. This here, the ribbing, you have to do in 2s. So that's why I say multiples of 10. This is multiples of 2 and this is multiples of 5. So what I do is I just say multiple of 10. If you want to do multiple of 2 for the ribbing and then increase here, you can, and just go back down to the stitch count here. That's up to you. But and there is a double crochet decrease at the end of the video. I do tell you and show you how to do that when it's time. But you want to go in multiples of 10. What else? You can do as many rounds as you want to make it the height that you want. This is perfect height for me. So, yeah. And because, now depending on what yarn you use, you should have enough out of one skein to make it the height that you want, or the length, hopefully. I mean, if you want it to come down to your knees, you might not, but just a regular cowl, I mean, you should have enough. But yeah, that is the cowl. This is what it looks like on the inside. It's not reversible. Well, I mean, you could have it on that side. It's nothing wrong with that side. But yeah. I think that is everything you need to know. You want to start crocheting? Let's go. Okay, so I have my chain of 100 here. And what I did was I took and formed a ring here in hopes that I did not twist my chain. If I did, we'll have to start over again. But after you form your ring, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to double crochet into that same stitch. If you hear some noises in the background, I apologize. My dog is a bit noisy. And we're just going to double crochet in every chain across. You should have 100 double crochets when you are done with this, and I'll meet back up with you. So I have my piece here, and I double crocheted in each chain across and slip stitch to join. No twisting. Okay, now we're going to chain 1, and I am going to front post double crochet around that first double crochet, and I'm going to back post that next double crochet, and that is the repeat. Front post in the next double crochet, back post in the next. You're going to repeat this all the way around, and this will create your ribbing, and I will meet back up with you when this round is over. Alright, I finished round 2, and I slip stitched to the first double crochet that I made, and if you start with a front post double crochet, you should end with a back post. So I have my ribbing started, and I am going to go ahead and continue this for another 3 rounds for a total of 5 rounds completed, including your first double crochet round. You should have 5 rounds. So what I'm going to do is chain 1, and I'm going to front post double crochet the front post double crochets, and I am going to back post the back post double crochets. And I'm going to just follow what I already have laid out for another 3 rounds. So once I have my 3 rounds complete, I will come back and we will go on to the next part of the cowl. I have completed my 5 rounds of ribbing, and I'm going to go ahead and go on to the middle section of the cowl. Alright, I think I fixed y'all. Okay, to start round 6, I'm going to chain 1 and place a single crochet into that same stitch. I am going to skip 2 stitches, and I'm going to place a fan stitch into the 3rd stitch. A fan stitch consists of 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, all in that same stitch. And then I'm going to skip 2 stitches, skip, skip, and put a single crochet into that 3rd stitch. I'm going to skip 2 stitches, skip, skip, and fan stitch into that next stitch. Fan stitches 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Skip 2 stitches, skip, skip, single crochet into the third. Skip 2 stitches, skip, skip, fan stitch in the third, which is 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Skip 2 stitches, skip, skip, single crochet into the third. You will repeat that all the way around until you reach the end. Okay, I am here at the end and I have 3 stitches left. 1, 2, 3. I have a single crochet here and a single crochet here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to skip 1 stitch, fan stitch in the next, I'm going to skip that stitch and I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet made. So what that does is, like you see in knitting and whatever, that was a bit of an increase, so the ribbing on the bottom here will kind of go at an angle a little bit, and the middle section of the cowl will look fuller, and so that's what that does. And then whenever we get done with the middle section and go to the second part of the ribbing, we'll go back down to 100 stitches so that they are even on both sides, on top and bottom. So that was a little bit of an increase there to kind of make the middle section a little bit fuller. It just gives the ribbing on the bottom and on the top a little bit better. It just looks a little bit cleaner. So now I'm going to go on to round 7, I believe. 5, 6, yep, 7. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to put a fan stitch in this stitch that the chain 1's coming from. Fan stitches 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And then I'm going to skip 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and in this chain 1 space I'm going to place a single crochet. Now what we're going to do next, and what you will repeat all the way around, is you will skip 2 double crochets, skip, skip, and you'll put a fan stitch into that single crochet. You'll skip 2 double crochets, skip, skip, single crochet into the chain 1 space. And you will repeat this all the way around. Skip 2 double crochets, fan stitch into the single crochet. Skip 2 double crochets, single crochet in the chain 1 space. Skip 2 double crochets, fan stitch in the single crochet. And you'll repeat this all the way around. And once you finish that, I will show you how to start the next round, and that is what you do for the middle section of the cowl. Alright, we'll meet back up. Alright, so I am here at the end. I ended with a single crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch to that first double crochet that I made. And that is what round 7 looks like. Because this yarn is busy, it all kind of blends in together. You don't see each fan stitch. So, but we always fan stitch in a single crochet from here on out, and we always single crochet in a chain 1 space. So when you look at what will be round 8, you're going to wonder, how do I get to this chain 1 space? Because we don't put a stitch in a double crochet. And in order to get to this chain 1 space, we are going to slip stitch. So we slip stitched into this first double crochet that we made to complete round 7, and then we're going to insert our hook into that next double crochet, and then we'll slip stitch into the chain 1 space as well. So what you did was you slip stitched to end round 7, you slip stitch into that next double crochet, and then you slip stitched into the chain 1 space of the fan. Now we are going to chain 1, and we are going to single crochet in that same chain 1 space, and then we're going to fan stitch into the single crochet. So that's where your round will start, is in that chain 1 space. You slip stitch to the chain 1 space, and then you chain 1, single crochet in that same chain, and then your round begins for round 8. So you single crocheted into that chain 1 space, you skip your 2 double crochets, and you put a fan stitch into the single crochet. And that is how you start your round 8, and you will continue this the same way you did the last round. Alright, I have finished round 8, and I slip stitched to the single crochet that I had made. And round 9, and every round after this until you reach the point to do the ribbing, you will repeat round 7 and 8. So you just did round 8, you're going to go back and you're going to repeat round 7. Round 7, you're starting in a single crochet, so you'll just chain 1 and put a fan stitch into that single crochet. And you'll continue your round around, you'll continue all the way around like you've been doing. But when you get to the next round, you're going to be right here. See, you have a fan stitch. This is where you're going to end. And so when you get here, you're going to revert back to round 8, and you're going to slip stitch in these double crochets until you reach your chain 1 space. You'll chain 1, single crochet, and go around like you usually do. So that is what you're going to repeat back and forth until you reach the length that you want. At the moment, I don't know how big I'm going to make mine, but I will, when I come back, when I finish my length, I'll come back and I'll let you know how many rounds I've done, and that way you can do the same. Alright, so I have 10 rounds completed in the fan stitch rounds, and then I have 5 rounds down here of ribbing. Now, you need to count your stitches and to make sure that you do a double crochet decrease to get back down to 100 stitches. I'll show you how to do a double crochet decrease. You shouldn't have that many extra, and so it doesn't really matter where you put the decreases because you don't have that many to decrease. You're going to, I've slip stitched to the first stitch made, to the first stitch made, and I'm going to chain 1 and make a double crochet into that first stitch. I'm going to do a few stitches before we get to the decrease. Now you make sure you put a double crochet into that chain 1 space there. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do a double crochet decrease. The way you do a double crochet decrease is you yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. That is a double crochet decrease. And you will want to decrease until you have 100 stitches in your piece here. So make sure you put a double crochet in every stitch, including the chain 1 spaces that you have in your fan stitches. And when you finish this round, make sure you have 100 stitches. And then I'll meet up for the next part. Alright, so I did double crochets all around, and I had 102 stitches, and so I only had to decrease 2 stitches for this round, and that's all I'll have to decrease for the rest of this cowl. So that's why I said just put a decrease in randomly, because all you need to do for, if you're doing this size, all you need to do is decrease 2 stitches, and you should have your 100 stitches at the end of this double crochet round. Now if you're doing a longer cowl, then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that the stitch count up here matches the stitch count down here in your ribbing. That's all I'm doing. I had 100 stitches to start off my ribbing, and I increased by 2 stitches here, and so I'm just decreasing enough to get back to my regular stitch count that I had here at the ribbing for the top ribbing, because I want everything to match and be even. Alright, so since I'm back to the beginning, I am going to chain 1. I've slip stitched to the first double crochet that I've made, and I've chained 1, and I'm going to front post, make sure I'm in camera, front post double crochet into that stitch. And then we're going to back post double crochet the next stitch, front post double crochet the next, and you're just going to alternate between back post and front post double crochets all the way around. And this is the ending of your cowl. You're going to, if you put, however many rounds you put here in the bottom, I did 5, you'll match up here. So this double crochet round here counts as a round, and then the one we just started counts as 2, and you're going to continue until you have 5 rounds of ribbing to match down here. You'll slip stitch to join the round, cut your yarn, and hide your ends, and your cowl is done. I hope that this video tutorial was helpful. If it was, don't forget to like and subscribe, that way you never miss another video from Missouri Makes. And I will see you another day.